Well, hey there, YouTube. I am here to play show and tell. Who wants to play? I do. Well, you see, I'm really raising my hand. I do. Okay, and most of these things I found because of one question I was going to put in a tag that I was going to do, but the tag's not ready, and I am. So, here we go. And the question is something like, do you have any items in your home that were made for one purpose, but you use it for another purpose, called repurposing? Yes, I do. I have this cute little spoon rest that you put on the stove, and while you're cooking, you know, you rest your spoon in here so you don't get your stove dirty, but I don't use it for that. I put this by my sink. See how cute that is? I put it by my sink, and I love Pears soap. So this is the soap holder for the sink soap. That's what I do with that. And here's something that nobody would really know what to do with except throw it in the trash, right? Of course, but Jen Mama didn't do that. Somebody, and it could have been anybody, because 3 people used my kitchen, but somebody had turned the stove on and then laid a plastic cutting board on it. And this is the result. Can you see that? It's really, look at the back. My goodness, I don't know. And people ask me all the time, why is that hanging up on your kitchen wall over the stove? And I'm like, well, what do you think? You know, it's a good reminder, don't put plastic on a stove, even if the burner's off. You don't know if the burner's off. The third thing that I do is for my garden. And I have 2 garden stories. This is one. For the past 3 days, it's been gusting winds 15 to 35 miles an hour. And I have my plants in terracotta pots and plastic pots. And I have a balcony with a wooden railing, you know, that's big enough for the pots to sit on. And so I've had to put them in their little greenhouses because they'll get torn up otherwise. And so here's what I use for a greenhouse. Recycled delicatessen takeaway. And that's a tomato. Last week, that little guy was like this tall. And I guess, you know, while it was still 80 degrees, it decided to grow. And now in the greenhouse for 3 days, it's growing even more, which is great. And this is the funniest thing. I am raising dandelions this year. It's one of my garden crops. Because it's very healthful. It's an edible weed. You can eat every single part of the dandelion. You could eat the stalk, but it's not worth eating. But anyway, okay, so in my dandelion pot, today when I took it down off the wall, I found a volunteer tomato plant. How awesome is that? I think that's so cool. I found a plant in with the weeds. Well, anyway, I'm going to finish writing this tag and then I'll come back with it. So, have a good evening. Bye. Goodbye, YouTube.